Welcome to Marketing Momentum on the Rise, the show where we burn off the noise, fix what's broken in your growth engine, and rebuild with clarity. I'm Sterling Phoenix, and if your funnel's stalled, your message is ghosting your buyers, or your team can't agree on what's actually working, this is the clarity pass you didn't know you needed. Let's go. Everyone's talking about AI like it's either going to print money or destroy your job. Here's the truth. AI won't build you $1 million funnel, but if you know how to use it, it'll get you there 10 times faster. Welcome to The Rise with Sterling Phoenix. This is a fire episode. Big, bold clarity that shows you what's real and what actually works. And today, I'm pulling back the curtain completely. If I had to build $1 million funnel in 2025 using AI, here's exactly what I would do step by step. Not theory, not BS, the actual build process. Because here's what I've learned after years of building funnels. Consulting with teams doing 8 and 9 figures, and now watching AI change the execution speed. Funnels still work, but the how has changed. AI doesn't replace the fundamentals. Message, offer, customer psychology, those are eternal. But AI absolutely accelerates execution. And the leaders who understand how to marry AI with the fundamentals, they're the ones scaling results without burning their teams out. So today I'm walking you through the entire blueprint, from the offer structure to the funnel math, and where AI cuts build time in half, where humans must stay in control, and the exact steps I take to go from zero to $1 million in revenue today. If you're an executive trying to understand what's actually possible with AI in marketing, or if you're a recruiter trying to identify who really gets this space, or even if you're an operator who just needs to build revenue fast, this episode is for you. Let's go. Before we talk about AI, we need to talk about fundamentals, because AI is an accelerator. And if you're accelerating in the wrong direction, you just get to failure faster. So let's start with what it takes to make $1 million funnel actually work. AI or no AI? $1 million funnels aren't built on free PDFs. They're built on clear, monetizable offers that solve urgent, expensive problems. And here's what that really means. You start with a high value problem, not a nice to have, a problem that costs your customer time, money, or sanity if they don't solve it. Then you need an urgent need, something that they have to fix right now, not eventually. And finally, pricing that scales. You can't get to $1 million selling $27 ebooks. The math, it just doesn't work. So here's the tiering I'd use. First, you need to start out with an entry offer, something in the $47 to $97 range. Low friction, proves value, gets people in the ecosystem. Then a mid-tier product, something in that $497 to $997 range. Something that delivers core transformation. This is where most of your revenue lives. And finally, premium. That product that fits in that $5,000 plus range. High touch, custom, for the segment that wants done with you or done for you. That tiering does two things. First, it gives you multiple price points to capture different buyer segments. And it creates an ascension path. Someone who buys the $97 offer is way more likely to buy the $997 offer than just like a cold prospect. Next, we need to map the funnel journey. The architecture is classic. AI doesn't change what the funnel does. It just changes how fast you can build it and optimize it. So here's the journey. We start with awareness. Someone discovers that you exist and that you solve their problem. Next up is the lead magnet. They give you their email in exchange for immediate value. Next, nurture. You build trust, prove expertise, and demonstrate transformation. Then comes the conversion. They buy your core offer. Next up, Ascension. They buy your higher tier offer. And then another Ascension. That's it. That's the structure. And it's the same whether you're using AI or doing everything manually. The difference with AI, you can build and test this in days instead of months. Now let's talk about the revenue math. Real numbers. Because too many people build funnels on vibes instead of actual math. If you want to hit $1 million in revenue, you need to work backward from that number. So, option one, you either have to make 2,000 sales of a $497 product, 1,000 sales of a $997 product, or 200 sales of a $5,000 product. Or, more realistically, a blend. 500 at that $497, 300 at $997, and 50 at $5,000. Now, let's add some conversion assumptions because this is where most people delude themselves. Let's say you're selling a $997 product or a service. Traffic to your landing page is 50,000 visitors. Conversions to lead magnet around 15%. So that gives us 7,500 leads. The nurture sequence engagement, let's go with 40% actually engaged. That's pretty standard, which gives us 3,000 actual active leads. Now, sales page visitors from the nurture is going to be around 25%. So now we're at 750. The purchase to conversion is going to be about 20%. Now we're at 150 sales. So, revenue 150 sales times $997 equals $149,550. Now, that's one funnel iteration. To hit $1 million, you need to either grow your traffic so that you can scale your spend, get better conversion rates, which means you're going to optimize things, go with a higher price point with premium positioning, or run 7 of these funnels. So, see why the math matters? Because when you reverse engineer from $1 million, you realize what actually has to be true. Most people skip this step. They build a funnel, hope it works, wonder why they're not hitting their revenue goals. But when you start with the math, you know exactly what has to improve in order to scale. And that's where AI becomes really powerful because AI helps you optimize the conversion points that matter most. Now let's talk about what most people get wrong. Before I show you how to build this with AI, let me tell you the 3 things most people get wrong when they try to use AI for funnel building. Because if you make these mistakes, AI is not going to save you. It's just really going to help you fail super fast. First, they let AI own the strategy. Yes, AI is incredible at execution, but it is terrible at strategy. It can generate 100 headline variations, but it can't tell you which market to enter. It can also write email sequences, but it can't define your unique positioning. You have to give it that. It can optimize your ad spend, but it can't create your brand voice. Only you can. When people let AI make strategic decisions, they end up with funnels that look like everyone else's. Generic positioning, commoditized messaging, no differentiation whatsoever. The fix? Humans own the strategy, AI handles the execution. Now, mistake number 2. They optimize for speed over clarity. AI makes it so easy to create content fast that people skip the hard work of actually getting clear. They generate landing pages in minutes, but the offer isn't clear. The value prop is like totally muddled, and the call to action is weak. And then they wonder why conversion rates are terrible. Well, speed without clarity is just really fast failure. The fix? Use AI to accelerate after you've done this strategic work on how to get clear on your offer, your audience, and your positioning. Now, mistake number 3. They don't build feedback loops. AI can help you build fast, but it can't tell you what's working unless you build measurement into the system. Most people launch AI assisted funnels and then nothing. No tracking, no testing, no iteration. They treat it like set it and forget it, it's going to be magic. But the whole point of AI is continuous optimization. And optimization requires feedback loops. To fix, you need to build analytics and testing into the system from day one. AI monitors performance. Humans make decisions about what the data reveals. So now let's talk about where AI cuts build time in half. Now that we've covered what makes funnels work and what mistakes to avoid, let's really delve into where AI can actually deliver value to you. Because there are specific practices and places in the funnel where AI cuts build time dramatically and without sacrificing quality. The first real application is in your messaging and positioning. This is where AI shines, not in creating your positioning, but testing variations of it. Here's how I use it. You define your offer, you know who it's for, you know what transformation it delivers. Now you need to find the language that actually is going to land. With AI, you can enter prompts and ask it to generate 20 different ways to articulate your value proposition. So you put in something like generate 20 one-line value propositions for offer, targeting audience, solving problem. AI will give you 20 versions in 30 seconds or less. You scan them, 15 are probably garbage. 3 are interesting, 2 are probably close. You take the best 2 and then refine them with your brand voice, and then you test them live. The result is you went from staring at that blank page for an hour to testing 2 strong options in under 15 minutes. Now, that's power. That's not replacing your judgment, but actually accelerating your options. Now, the next great application of AI is in content and ad variations. The same principles apply to ad creative. With AI, you can generate 50 headline variations, generate 30 different hooks, generate 20 different CTAs. Then you mix and match those to create 100 combinations. Then use your human judgment and shortlist the top 10 based on brand fit, emotional resonance, and strategic alignment. Test those 10. AI monitors performance, and after 72 hours, you know which 3 are the winners. The result is you tested 10 variations in the time it used to take to test 2. That's faster learning, faster optimization, and lower acquisition costs. Application number 3 is around segmentation and personalization. Here's where AI delivers massive leverage. Microsegmentation and dynamic personalization are really great. The old way was you'd build one landing page and everyone sees the same messaging. The AI powered way, you build one core page, but AI dynamically adjusts headlines based on the traffic source, social proof based on industry, CTAs based on buyer stage, and pricing emphasis based on company size. The result is one funnel becomes 5 personalized experiences automatically. And here's what's powerful, this isn't theoretical. Tools exist right now that do this. You're not building 5 separate funnels. You're building one funnel with AI driven personalization layers. That's how you scale without complexity. Now, application number 4, competitive intelligence. I think this is one of my favorites. Here's something most people miss. AI has changed competitive research completely. In the old way, we'd manually review competitor sites. We'd screenshot their landing pages, try to reverse engineer their funnels. The AI powered way, well, we use AI to analyze competitor messaging at scale. We feed it 20 competitor landing pages and ask it to identify common positioning themes, gaps in their messaging, price point patterns, differentiation opportunities. The result? In 30 minutes, you have complete competitive intelligence that used to take a week. And you can use that to position your offer in the white space they're not occupying. That's strategic advantage, and that's available right now. Now, my favorite tool for doing that, honestly, is a combination of ChatGPT plus Perplexity. Application number 5, analytics and optimization. Now, the last application, real-time optimization, this is amazing. The old way was we'd wait for the end of the week reports. Then we'd manually analyze what worked, make adjustments the following week. The AI-powered way, AI monitors funnel performance in real time. It detects when landing page conversions drop below a threshold or email open rates decline, or ad creative shows fatigue signals, or high-value leads enter the funnel, and it alerts you immediately, or in some cases, automatically adjusts. The result is you're optimizing continuously instead of weekly. Problems are getting fixed before they burn up your budget. So now, let's do a step-by-step build walkthrough. And we're going to get tactical. If I were building $1 million funnel right now, here's exactly what I would do, step by step. First, pick the right offer. I'd start with that $997 program, toolkit, or system. Why $997? Because it's a high enough number to reach $1 million with realistic volume, but low enough that the buying decision doesn't require a committee approval. And it needs to deliver clear ROI. This saves you 20 hours a week, or this increases your close rate by 15%, or this cuts your customer acquisition cost by 30%. It needs to be measurable, specific, and urgent. Now, step 2, the AI research sprint. This is going to take about 2 days. Days 1 and 2, I'm going to use AI to compress research that used to take weeks. First of all, we're going to do an audience pain point analysis. We're going to feed AI transcripts from sales calls, customer reviews, forum discussions, and ask it to identify reoccurring pain themes. Next up, we're going to do competitor gap analysis. We're going to analyze 15 to 20 competitor funnels, identify what they're emphasizing and what they're missing. Then we'll do keyword and search intent research. We're going to use AI to cluster thousands of keywords by intent, find the high value, low competition opportunities. The result? By end of day 2, I know exactly what my audience cares about, how competitors are positioning, and what search terms they're using. Now, step 3, messaging workshop. This is going to take a day. On day 3, we're going to use AI to draft 50 hooks, 30 value propositions, and 20 CTAs. Then comes the human part. We're going to shortlist the best 5 of each, and then we'll test them live. LinkedIn posts, email subject lines, quick ad test with a little bit of budget, see which one resonates. So the result, by the end of day 3, I've got a battle-tested messaging system that's already proven to stop scroll and create engagement. Now, step 4, the landing page build. We're going to give this 24 hours. On day 4, we're going to create that landing page using an AI-assisted wireframe. Here's what I'd prompt. Quote, create a high-converting landing page structure for offer, targeting, audience. Include hero section with the value prop, pain agitation section, solution overview, social proof, FAQ, and CTA. AI is going to give me the structure. I'll refine the copy using messaging that I already tested earlier in the process. Then we'll launch the same day. The result is I have a new landing page live in 24 hours instead of 2 weeks. Now, step 5, lead magnet. Also, 1-day project. On day 5, you're going to create that lead magnet. It could be a guide, maybe a calculator, it could be a quiz that segments leads by need. AI drafts the content structure, and then humans refine for brand voice and strategic positioning. The result is I've got a high-value lead magnet that drives opt-ins and starts the nurture process. Step 6. Now we're going to work on the nurture sequence for 2 days. So, days 6 and 7, this is where most funnels fail. The emails are boring, generic, or salesy from day 1. And here's how I do it with AI instead. You prompt AI to draft a 10 email arc that follows this structure. Emails 1 and 2 build trust, improve expertise. Emails 3 and 4 agitate the problem. Emails 5 and 6 show the solution. Emails 7 and 8 handle any objections. And emails 9 and 10 create urgency and the close. AI drafts, humans edit for clarity, story, emotional resonance. The result? We have a nurture sequence that actually converts, built in 2 days instead of 2 weeks. Now, step 7, add variations. This is going to take a day. So on day 8, we're going to use AI to generate 100 headline image combos. And we'll use human judgment to select the top 10 that match our brand and our strategy. Then we'll test cheap, $50 a day per variation for 3 days. The result, by day 11, we know which 2 to maybe 3 ads are actually the winners, and we can scale those. Now, step 8, analytics dashboard. This is an ongoing project. So from day 1, we're going to build monitoring in the system. We'll set up AI to track landing page conversion rate, email engagement metrics, sales page visitor to purchase ratio, and cost per acquisition by channel. We're going to set thresholds. When metrics drop below a target, we'll get alerted. The result? You're optimizing in real time, not waiting for monthly reports. Now, step 9, we're going to scale what works. Once you've validated the funnel, usually 30 to 60 days, it's time to start scaling. We're going to double down on winning ads. We're going to increase budget on high converting channels and build lookalike audiences from our best customers. And here's where AI compounds value. It continues optimizing as you scale, testing new variations, adjusting based on performance signals, and maximizing ROI. The result? You scale revenue without scaling your complexity. Okay, you're probably saying, Sterling, this sounds great, but what does this AI stack really look like to do all this? Well, here's the AI stack I'd use, but I don't want to just say, okay, here's the specific tools, because those are really changing too fast. I am constantly seeing new things come out that are even better than the ones that were available, say, 3 to 6 months ago. But let's talk about the categories you need instead. So first off, you need research and intelligence tools. This includes things like competitive analysis tools, audience insight platforms, and keyword and intent analysis. Next, you need content and creative tools. So copy generation with human editing, design assistance for things like wireframes and layouts, and variation creation at scale. The next category of tools is personalization and testing. Here you're going to want dynamic landing page tools, email personalization engines, and A/B testing platforms with AI optimization. And the final category, analytics and monitoring. Real-time dashboard tools, predictive analytics, and anomaly detection and alerting. You don't need the most expensive tools. You need tools that integrate really well and give you the feedback loops you need in order to optimize. Now, let's do a budget reality check and talk money, because this matters. If I'm building $1 million funnel, here's what I'd budget. So, AI tools, you need to spend of around $500 to $1,500 a month, depending on your stack. An ad spend around $10,000 to $30,000 to validate the funnel. You're going to scale this later. An email platform, that's going to cost you $200 to $500 a month for the volume that you're going to need to build that $1 million. Design and dev, probably $2,000 to $5,000 if you're outsourcing landing page and creative. And then the total, well, that's going to run you $15,000 to $40,000. So once validated, you're scaling ad spend based on ROI. If you're profitable at $10,000 a month in ad spend, you scale to $50,000, then $100,000. But the initial investment to prove your funnel actually works, it's going to be $15,000 to $40,000 realistically. Anyone promising you can build $1 million funnel for $500 is completely lying to you. Now let's talk about how using AI in this way positions you as a leader. We have to distinguish between the hype and the reality. Hype says AI is going to build your funnel for you. But the reality is, AI accelerates execution while leadership sets direction. So, this distinction really matters when you're talking with leadership or presenting to a board. You're not saying, I let AI do everything. You're saying, I use AI strategically to compress timelines and increase testing velocity while maintaining brand integrity and strategic alignment. That's the language that helps you show how AI is really delivering in the way that they're interested in. And leaders who can talk funnel math and AI integration, well, that's where the real talent lies. Because most people today can just do one or the other thing. They understand the funnel, but don't really understand AI. Or they know AI, but they don't really understand the business fundamentals of it. The leaders who bridge both of these things, well, they're the ones that we want running the function today. And people are desperate to find people who really can speak both those languages and execute on those fluently. Now, it's great to talk about how AI is going to do all these amazing things for you, but we really need to focus on how you lead your team through all of this because it really matters. AI shouldn't be replacing your teams, it should be freeing them to do higher value work. When you're building an AI powered funnel, you need to frame it as this lets our team focus on strategy and creative and optimization instead of manual execution. This narrative really matters within organizations because it proves that you can lead the AI adoption without burning people out or creating fear. And that's an important skill today when you're trying to get buy in for your AI applications. Now let's bring this full circle. The fundamentals still matter. You need a clear offer with measurable ROI, funnel architecture that guides the buyer journey, and math that works backwards from a million to daily actions. AI is great at accelerating execution. Messaging, you can test 20 variations in the time it used to take to test two. Content, you can get 100 ad combos and then test the best 10 really quickly. Personalization, you create one funnel with 5 different experiences. And optimization, you can make those real-time adjustments instead of waiting on weekly reports. The build system, it looks like offer, research sprint, messaging workshop, landing page, lead magnet, nurture sequence, ad variations, analytics dashboard, and then scale. The big leadership differentiator here is that we're not just, quote, using AI. We're actually building outcomes with it. And we're understanding where AI adds value and where humans must stay in control. Next, the budget reality. It really is going to require $15,000 to $40,000 to validate, and then scale that based on ROI. Now, here's the practical takeaway from all of this. This week, I want you to go and pick one piece of your funnel. This could be your landing page, it could be your nurture sequence, or even your ad copy. Run an AI sprint on it. Use AI to generate options, and then use your human judgment to select the best. Then test it live. Measure how much faster you moved and whether quality actually held out through it. That's how you learn what AI can actually do for you, not just like through theory. Lots of people are writing about it, but you need to do it and test it. Do that this week. Document the results and then share that with your team or your boss. That's how you move from talking about AI to showing results with it. Here's the one thing I want you to remember. AI doesn't build funnels. Leaders do. But the leaders who know how to harness AI, who understand where it accelerates and where it breaks and where it saves time and where it creates risk, they'll outpace the ones who don't. This isn't about tools. It's about judgment, about knowing what to automate and what to protect, and building revenue engines that scale without breaking. That's the skill. That's the edge. And that's what separates operators from strategists. Thanks for listening to The Rise. Subscribe on Substack to keep your rise in motion. clarity, momentum, no burnout. That's the rock.